Quest presents an unabridged recording of The Tewkesbury Tomb by Kerry Tombs, narrated by Andrew Cullum. Prologue. Tewkesbury, March 1889.
Time
30 minutes past 11, my dear sir.
Confound it!
Exclaimed Mr. Ganniford, pacing up and down before the roaring log fire in the snug of the Hop Pole Hotel.
I find that time always goes at a far slower pace when one is eager for it to proceed at a greater rate,
replied his companion, removing his spectacles from his thin nose and blowing sharply upon them.
The trouble with you, Jenkins, is that you never allow yourself the opportunity to rise to the occasion. You have spent far too many days reading uninteresting, ancient historical journals in that drab little London club of yours, instead of sampling the pleasures that life presents to one,
pronounced Ganniford, throwing his bulky frame into one of the well-worn leather armchairs.
And the trouble with you, my dear Ganniford, is that in all the years I have known you, you have never shown the slightest inclination of mastering that impatient nature of yours, and you seem content to indulge in too much over-dining at other men's tables, and gambling your inheritance away at Brooks, reprimanded the older man, removing a large handkerchief from his pocket and applying it vigorously to the lens.
Better to have lived an impatient life full of optimistic expectation than to have died after a lifetime of boredom and sobriety.
His companion allowed himself a brief smile.
Caution and moderation in all things, Ganniford. Caution and moderation.
Nonsense, my dear fellow. You need to push aside your ancient dusty books and indulge yourself more.
Human life is everywhere in a state where much is to be endured and little to be enjoyed.
And I suppose that was said by one of your ancient Greeks.
Samuel Johnson, actually.
You made sure you paid that man to meet us there,
said the other, ignoring the last remark and changing the subject.
At 12, as agreed, outside the main entrance.
I suppose he will be there.
If the fellow wants a further 10 shillings,
replied Jenkins, lifting up his spectacles at arm's length, so that the light from the fire was reflected in the glass.
You think there may be others?
Asked the other, anxiously.
The letter did not imply that there would be.
But there must be others. He had seemed to indicate that there would be others.
I do not know whether there will be anyone else there tonight or not,
said Jenkins with a note of indifference as he replaced his spectacles on the end of his nose.
Bound to be others. Can't see.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?